Welcome to Bed Crime Stories podcast. I'm your host, T, and I'm coming to you from my studio. Hence the lights in my eyes. I haven't figured out how to get rid of that. If I take the glasses off, we're good, except that I can't read the script. So that's not going to work, but hey, I'll get better in time. That's how it goes. I have been staying away from the Jay Slater case because I felt that the conspiracy theories were getting a little bit, shall we say, over the top. They were hurting the family, I felt, and I just didn't want to be a part of that. However, Jay's father, Warren, has said that he still has questions. And let's face it, most of us do too. So today I want to share my remaining questions about the Jay Slater case, and I don't think that we can move away from the case until we get definitive answers to these questions. So here goes. First question. Ayub Kassim and Rocky, the two questionable dudes from the Airbnb in Moscow, they need to tell the truth. What's the real reason that Jay Slater got in a car with them so early in the morning, traveled so far away from his own accommodations in Los Cristianos? I don't believe Ayub and Rocky. I don't think they're being straight with us. I think that they're not telling the truth because they don't want to incriminate themselves. I do think there's some criminal activity involved here. I don't mean that it necessarily led to Jay's death, but I think it's what led Jay to Moscow. I mean, think about it. We're dealing with an ex-con who spent 9 years in prison. Yes, I know that there's redemption. Yes, I know he did his time and he shouldn't be tainted for the rest of his life. But how is Ayub Kassim making a living these days? And what was a 30-year-old who doesn't like the type of music that was being played at the NRG festival? What was he doing there? Why did he come in contact with Jay Slater? Still don't know if Ayub knew Lucy ahead of time. She's described them in the GoFundMe as strangers. He's saying that he knew or he met Jay through an acquaintance. Who is that acquaintance? Like, spill the beans. This is sloppy. Ugh. Okay, question number 2. Oh, and by the way, I don't think that Ayub Kassim, he doesn't strike me as a dude who goes around doing good deeds for young British lads. He just doesn't strike me as somebody who's going to do something for somebody without a reason and without some sort of financial reward. Just my opinion. Second question. Why did this Ophelia lady, Ophelia, I think that's her name, in Moscow, not stop and point Jay in the right direction when she saw him heading up the mountain instead of down towards civilization? Is she really that cruel that she would let a young foreigner who she knew wanted to go to Los Cristianos head in the wrong direction up the mountain? It was also a dangerous direction to be headed in. So it just doesn't make sense that she wouldn't take a minute or two to stop her car and say, hey, the way you want to go is in the other direction. The second reason I find her incredibly shady, that apparently when Warren Slater and Jay's brother traveled to Moscow to ask her questions, she pretended not to speak English. We now know that she does speak English. And she also closed her cafe right in front of them to avoid speaking to them. That, in my opinion, is cruel. It shows callousness, or does it show fear? Was she afraid? Is there some reason she wanted to avoid Jay's family? Is she embarrassed that she didn't help Jay? What's the real reason that she avoided his family when they were in such a tenuous situation. The third question I have is, why didn't Jay's friends, Lucy, Brad, Brandon, when they knew that he was in a life or death situation out there in that dangerous desert terrain, without water, without a cell phone, why did they not immediately jump in a taxi and hightail it to Moscow? Supposedly they knew where he was, they had the GPS location. Why in the world did they not take the time to go straight away to Moscow and try and rescue him? Lucy knew that without water, Jay was going to be in danger out there. So what was it? Was she too busy making Instagram posts? She perhaps working on her tan? What is the real reason that they didn't go right away to rescue Jay? Friends like those, who needs enemies? Next question. 4. Has Jay's cell phone been found? We've heard rumors that the phone was found wiped clean. Is that true? Can the authorities please let us know? The next thing is, when the coroner in the UK examined the remains, were the organs still in the body? Was he able or she able to discern that? It would certainly help to let the public know, because these conspiracy theories surrounding why Debbie Duncan was not allowed to see her son, centering around Jay possibly being done in for his organs. We know that another young man was found dead in Tenerife without his organs still in his body. That, my friends, is what you call conspiracy, but a real one, okay? So we do need to know that. The next thing, why hasn't Brandon come out and said a word about Jay? Why is he so silent? What's his deal? Was he, like Ayub and Rocky, possibly involved in criminal activity? Is he just camera shy? Why won't he speak? The next thing, why did Jay turn the wrong way? Just asked Orphelia, whatever her name is, for directions, for information about the bus. So why then did he turn the wrong way when it was pretty obvious which direction civilization was in? And that brings me to the next question. Why did that reporter, Mark Williams Thomas, say that he had reason to believe that Jay was afraid when he left the Airbnb in Moscow? He needs to come out and explain exactly why he said that, because it has fueled so much of the speculation and so many of the conspiracy theories. Hey, do me a favor, if you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please smash that like button and subscribe to my channel. See you next time on Bed Crime Stories.